firm. Adam is driving the Evo, going for a new track record, and I'm going to be driving a pretty cool car that is about to show up, and I will tell you guys more about it when it gets here. All I'm hoping for is an awesome, drama-free track day, and hoping this day goes better than my last time here. Oh my god!
Are you okay?
No, dude, the car like a huge flame. Yeah, it's on fire. Oh my god. This is really bad. The Lotus Evora GT to me is basically an adult version of a goat car on steroids. It actually replaces the Evora Sport 410 and Evora 400 with a much more powerful supercharged V6, which we will get into in a little bit because this is not your average Toyota V6. This car weighs in at about 3,100 pounds, which to me was really surprising because the car just looked so teeny tiny. I always thought all the vehicles Lotus made just weighed a lot less, especially when you compare it to like how much my Evo 5, for example, weighs. But this one, with all the carbon fiber bits, is coming in at around 3,100 pounds. Getting into the car, the interior is definitely simple and to the point. I was actually a bit surprised by that when I first got in it. It's just very basic, but I think that's kind of what they're going for. You have a panel of clean buttons up here. You can switch between sport and race mode, and you have some dials down here for AC, still mechanical. I'm kind of digging the simplicity here. Got some nice little carbon fiber bits, but for the most part, super basic. I will admit, I've already driven the car a little bit around Oviedo, and let me tell you, I love it. It not only looks like a little aggressive adult goat kart, but it feels like one too, which is amazing. So I am really excited to get this thing out on a proper racetrack today. The car is so nimble and responsive, and there's not a lot of suspension movement. It's really rigid, but I love that personally. And in just driving it around town, one of my favorite things is the gearbox. Listen to how satisfying this is. Oh, so satisfying. Everything from the chassis itself to actually driving the car just feels so solid and rigid, like a race car. I've never driven a Lotus before now, so this is my very first Lotus experience, and I think I'm gonna have a blast with this thing out on the track. Now, back to its V6 engine. It is from a Toyota. I think it's the one they have in like Camrys, but it is also nothing like that at all. This car sounds so good. When I first started it up and gave it a few revs, it sounds, I know I'm gonna probably get crap for this, but to me, it just reminded me of the GT3 RS. I know. How could I say such a thing? But it does. It's really raspy, and instead of going on about it, let me just let you guys listen. Yes, there's still a manual key, you know, a little throwback, a little old school action there. Manual key and push start. Wait, let me roll the windows down first so you guys can hear. Okay, ready? That's not it. I know it was a little quiet startup. Just wait for it. Let's put her in sport mode. unlike a Camry, this V6 is supercharged, and it makes about 400 horsepower and about 310 foot-pounds of torque. So it's gonna get up and down. I'm stoked to take this thing out. Oh, one thing I did want to mention, when I was driving it just around town, one thing immediately that caught me off guard that I did not like that much was how you have to blip the car. You have to sort of blip it slower, because if you try and do a fast blip like I'm just used to, the car just doesn't like it, and a slower blip on the throttle makes everything work how it's supposed to in this car. It's just a weird feeling. It's like it's slightly delayed. I think that has to do with the supercharger on it, but that was the only thing that I didn't like that much, that I noticed right away just driving around town. I think that's gonna take some getting used to on track, just slowing down that blip motion. This car is just so raw feeling, you just driving it around the streets. And it wasn't uncomfortable. Like when I'm saying, you know, there's not a lot of suspension movement and it's very rigid and raw, it's not a bad thing. Like it feels great. Like you feel way more connected with this car than when I'm driving, for example, the Audi RS6. Like it's just a completely different experience. Now, we are back at the firm. Do you guys remember how my last firm experience went down? Wasn't a very good day, I will say that. And I'm just gonna be honest with you guys, I'm a little nervous. It was just such a bad experience when I was here last time, and I literally, as a driver, had no control over the situation, and it wasn't my car, and it was just not a great day. So I have some jitters that I need to shake off first. I know once I get out there and I do a few laps, I will feel so much better, but that was the last time that I was here at the firm, so definitely hope that this day goes a lot better and things stay a lot cooler. I don't know, is that too soon? I don't want to jinx myself. I'm so glad that I brought this pad. This is my trusty little track pad. So most cars I don't really fit in, but this thing helps a lot. To let down my crazy curly hair today. This is what happens when I just wake up and don't do anything to my hair. Looking like Einstein up in here. It's okay. So I'm gonna take the first couple laps, warm up, then probably do a cool down and go back out. Good? Good to go. First few laps felt pretty good. I still am having a hard time. Like once I'm actually driving, I sink a little bit further down and it's really hard for me to see out. And I'm gonna go get some more blankets or padding or whatever I need to do, get myself comfortable. I think I'm gonna have a blast in this thing, y'all. I wish it had a little bit more grip. It also just might be some areas in the track right now. But we'll see once I actually start pushing the thing. But so far, so good. Okay, I found more padding. It's a lot better. But then, Watch what happened. Turn the car on. What is that? What is that? I did 2 actual like semi hot laps, getting used to the car, feeling it out before I came back in here to get more padding. And I turned the car on right now and get a check engine light. Now normally I wouldn't freak out internally as much as I am now, and I'm already like jittery going into today. It's a completely stock car, but guess what? So was the Mustang, and it was out of my control, and now I get a check engine light. So I don't know, I was really excited to go out there and keep driving, especially now that I have better driver position too. I don't know, maybe it's just not my day. I looked at that as like a sign, and I was already like freaking out driving in here. So I don't know, I'm gonna wait until Adam goes and sets the record out there and wait for him to come back in. And I think a big lunch break is coming up, so I might not get to drive for a while, if I even do, with this happening. So I don't know. It's still really early to give up hope, but I'm just gonna take a break. I'm way too paranoid about this entire thing anyway. It's not really like driving on track, it's just this track and the circumstances that surround my last experience here. But I'm gonna chill for a bit, and hopefully we can figure out what's going on and get back out there. Oh man, today is just not the best track day. Adam's over there looking at his Evo. It might have overheated if a fan wasn't working, because he hasn't been able to get one of the fans to kick on. And it looks like one of his injectors might not be working, so the car is leaning out and he doesn't want to keep driving it and hurt it. Okay, do not make fun of me. I'm going out in this half-face helmet because I was wearing Adam's and it just kept coming down when I was in the middle of the lap. Alright, going back out. I can talk to you guys better anyway. response is like just like a freaking go-kart. Even though the suspension is super rigid, like there's really no unnecessary chassis movement, it still absorbs the rumble strips. And I mean, they're not like banging, towering rumble strips, but they're a good size, and it just absorbs them if you keep your foot in the throttle and just lets you carry that speed all the way through. And it's such a raw feeling. The awesome supercharged V6 noises coming together, it's just an awesome experience. I had a really good time that last time out. I felt like I was finally getting comfortable. They black flagged the track. There's a car that went off, so they're retrieving that car now. I'm gonna clean it up a bit. I really hope that I get a few more laps at least on the track. With how everything unfolded today, I would love to be able to get out at least a few more times now that I'm like getting pumped and having a blast. We don't know really what the issue was earlier because the car was loaned to Adam. I didn't want to be the one driving it when it had a checked engine light on it. So when Adam went out in race mode, the engine light went away. That is why I decided to get back out on track and keep driving it, and the checked engine light hasn't come back. So I guess it was some random fluke, but the car is great. It's running solid, and I just hope I get to go back out there. I still can't believe it's basically a supercharged Camry engine. That's pretty rad that they got such a wicked sound and power band out of that thing. And even though I didn't push the car how I really would have wanted to, I did have a great time driving it, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to drive it. I did get at least a few good laps in the Evora GT. I'm really interested in trying to track one again, and maybe I'll have some better luck and not be as paranoid the next time that I'm here, since I got through a day, and although we had a few issues, the car is all right. I know the next time that I'm here, I'll feel a lot better. I ripped off my Band-Aid when it comes to tracking cars at this place, and I love the firm. Like, I hate that like rolling up here I was feeling that way, because the firm is amazing. I love this facility. I did a lot of GRC training here back in the day. I had my first experiences on dirt here. I did my first ever rally stage training here like in 2015. Bryn, the instructor that worked with me, he still is here. I love this place. That is it for this one. We're gonna go back home, and then I'm prepping the Evo for an event tomorrow. It's gonna be my first car show, you guys, with the Evo. I'll see you guys in the next one.